So there's many complicated things that I feel. Um, and the point is to simplify it. The point is to make it all as clear and articulated as you possibly could be. So one of them is this notion that I've been struggling in terms of what to do, what is to be done, and there's something that follows me. And when God puts something in your heart, you have to you have to follow it. You have to go for it. I lose myself very, very easy. And, that could be something I could be angry about. Because I could say, I cannot believe how many years of my life I have lost to this or that or them or whatever. The other factor is I could think to myself, well, I could see myself as somebody who could lose themselves to the right things. I could be dedicated to the right things. Because it inevitably anything good that could happen, that needs to happen for sure, it's not going to be done by yourself. You have to be part of something, part of somebody, part of something, somewhere. Um, we don't just exist as individuals, and we always have a relationship with everything around us, one way or another, the good and the bad. So for myself, I will not focus on how much of it makes me angry or hurts me or feel a sense of loss or anything like that, and more so focus on, I know that there's something that I need to do. It's with me. Trust me. I There's not a day that goes by. Not a day goes by. Trust me. No matter how crazy my daily situations drive me. Maybe and I'm gonna look back on this time and I'm gonna think, oh, you don't know the half of it, or you don't even think that. You think this is crazy. Watch what's coming. Who knows? Because for sure my life has taught me that at this point, compared to, because if I were to compare the things that drove me crazy at 15, when I would say these types of things, to 10 years later, you know it's crazy. But at the same time, I still understand it. I still understand why I felt that way at the time, and why I feel the way now. And even me bringing that up is because it's related. um these are all critical experiences, and it follows me. Not a day goes by. And so right now, tonight, you have a very fractured memory, fractured mind, all so on and so forth, for all these different reasons, blah, 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 blah. What are some of the narratives that you want to articulate? There's one very, very clear one, which is, how did this happen? For a very, very specific story about a very specific people. It's a story that doesn't start or end with you. You know, this is something that has crisscrossed into my life for all these different reasons. It's like, imagine if you were flying through the air, just you're thrown flying through the air, and you're flying through all these different spider webs. And all these spider webs were like networks. Each network had its own story. That's really what it feels like. I've just been thrown into all these different webs, and it's all sliced and diced me to shape me into what I am at this point. Because I don't really think that I'm anything special or anything either extremely good, extremely bad. I don't see myself as like having suffered an extreme amount compared to most people, uh, or even, had a that much better of a life than a lot of people either. Um, I just think that, I really feel like if you just put me in the right place at the right time to just speak everything clearly, there will be a lot of people in that audience who will go, "Yep, yeah, me too," which is what I want. I don't actually look to really alienate myself from anybody. I don't really see a point to that. I actually do want to connect with a lot of people, and there are reasons as to why I've been either put in a position where I'm alienating people, why I put myself in a position to alienate people, or why people get that perception of me when that isn't the case of what I'm trying to do at all. There are a lot of times when that is just out of my control. And I really wish people could understand that some way or another. But back to the point. If I could write them a message, obviously there would be a million different things that would come to mind as to what I want to say. A lot of it is, some variety of anger or, why did you do this or whatever, whatever. But something that I accepted a while ago, because I learned it, and it's something that I know, but it is something that I have to keep reminding to. I have to keep clinging to it, otherwise I will get lost. Is ultimately we're just two people, and whatever they did to me doesn't matter. Whatever they did to me, it's not going to affect them, and whatever they did to me, and again, even that phrasing, they did to me, even that is questionable. Um, it's really up to me as to what I do with it now. Because if we both died tomorrow, is whatever their actions were, is that really gonna be important? If I were to really have some perspective on it, how much of that would really last? How much of that is really gonna be like, "Oh, they did this," and it's just like at some point you just get some perspective and you see, um, you know, did they try it? Yeah, they did. They 100% tried. You could come up with a million conclusions as to why or why not this worked, that didn't work, whatever, whatever, whatever. Argue every single second of the day, every minute, hour, go on forever. Keep arguing about it. They tried their best. They did, absolutely, and they meant their words as much as they could. Because another story from that time is that we're all being kind of driven insane for a lot of different reasons. But if I were to tell them a message, it would be that if we couldn't be around each other, uh, whether it be because this is a decision that I made under duress, with a hypothetical gun to my head, a decision that I made um, for their own interests, for my own interests, for the potential good that we could do for others' interests, at least in the short term, that I still want to see us standing side by side, even if we're a million miles apart. That we are both people that uh, fully, intimately understand certain things. That we have, seen past the veil. I know that I personally cannot forget any of it at all. I can't unsee anything. Can't pretend. I try for sure. Um, you know, one of my things that I say is like, well, I'm following my responsibilities. I have a responsibility not to do this, and that's why I throw myself into this. And I question that. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you if that was the right choice or not. But I will tell you that it definitely is taking me away from myself, and I'm gonna stop there because I'm even questioning what I'm saying. But the message is that I would still want us to be side by side, million miles apart, for nothing more than to just we know what's going on. We know that it's very rare to find people that do intimately to that level, and that we're both fighting to do something about it, and that we both trust, like two soldiers, that we will both do whatever we have to do. And that's something that I really would want to tell them right now. And that message follows me all the time. I think about it all the time. I couldn't tell you how much it's on me all the time. But I don't, and it's hard work to not say anything, stay apart. And for all I know at this point, I've already lost, any opportunity to even say anything to this point. Cell phone numbers change, people move, people leave, people change. New people come in, new people go. For all I know, it's not even worth thinking about. But if I could know that this message would come their way, that's what I would say. You know, because I really want to say something good to them. I don't want to say anything bad. I don't want anything bad at all. Just I only want the best. Best of the best of the best of the best. I couldn't imagine anything bad for them. I don't want it. I don't want to be part of it. I don't see the point. I don't see why. I don't see just the only reason that I quote unquote feel a certain way or think certain things at times and trust me, it's very hard to keep my mind on track at this point. It's because the root of it is because that's what I want. I surrender to that I want good things for them, and I'm still by their side, far away. Not because I want to abandon whatever I'm trying to build now, because I don't think that I should. Um, it's hard. Trust me, it's very hard. But yeah, I don't want them to think that they're alone or abandoned, or that I've forgotten. It's a very lonely world, very easy. All this, whatever, bro.